No one wants their makeup to go crepey looking, where makeup gets into the lines and gives you that wrinkly, crepey look later in the day. I'm going to show you what I do to make sure that doesn't happen to my under eye area. Hi, I'm GloryB, and this is GloryB-TV, a lifestyle channel for mature women who want to look fabulous, feel amazing, and age gracefully. Well, you saw in the thumbnail photo, I have two different under eyes. One where I did a certain method with certain magical products during my makeup application on one side, and one I didn't, just for that photo, and later in the day, the side without that set of products starts to look crepey and even dark. You know, some of the products start to wear off. The dark circle might start showing underneath, but you know, that makeup just starts settling into fine lines. So I'm going to show you what I use to make sure that doesn't happen. And I'll probably tell you this, while I'm putting on the makeup. But I've had friends even say to me later in the day when they've been with me all day, did you touch up your makeup today? And it's later in the day, it's evening. And I say no. And I'm 63 years old right now. And they're like, well, what are you doing? How do you do your makeup that it looks this good in person, up close, later in the day? So that's what I'm going to show you in this. What I want to tell you though is everything I'm talking about today, all the products and all the makeup I'm wearing, is in the description box below the video. You have to open that up to go get that. And then before I dive into it, I also want to tell you, I want to offer you my free 3 pages of my best anti-aging tips. This is a combination of food and skincare and makeup. And to get that, what you need to do is go to my website, which is gloryb-tv.com/get-tips. And on that page, you can type your email address, click the pink Get My Tips button, and you'll get the tips. I've also recently put a link to this right on the front page of my homepage of the website. So gloryb-tv.com. If you go there, you can just do it, you know, click the button there, and then you'll go to the Get My Tips button. All right, now we're going to go right into the products. I'm going to start with a fresh, clean face, no makeup, and I'll show you what I do to make sure I don't get under eye, crepey, wrinkly lines later in the day. Starting with a clean face, I've done all my skincare, and my first product is something that's not part of these miracle products. So it's just something that I need. Not all of you are going to need it, and that's an under eye corrector, because I have a little more blue, purplish, and I have under eye hollows, and I'm going to link in the end cards, in the description box, and in a regular card in the upper right corner. I'm going to link to the video where I showed how I disguise my under eye hollows if you want a little more detail. So I'm using a Pixie under eye corrector, and I will speed this up before I get to the next step. So if you don't have under eye hollows and you don't have darkness under your eyes, you can skip that step. Now I'm going for foundation. Today I'm using a full coverage foundation. This one by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is their Luminous foundation. I found that sometimes in these colors of foundations that I've been buying and testing and, you know, reporting on for how these foundations work with my mature skin, some of them, the colors are interesting because my face is so white and pink compared to my neck. A lot of times when I'm choosing a color at the store, not online, but actually at a store, it's interesting because I choose something, I get it home and I think, really? So I will put this on pretty fast. This one actually works best if I use a slightly damp Beauty Blender sponge and then a brush. So again, this is not part of the Miracle products, but if you don't like foundation, I would suggest that you choose a BB cream. I'll even link below to a L'Oreal BB cream that I really like. I wear the BB cream a lot in the summer. Okay, now I'm going to speed this up. I'll stop talking and we'll get through the foundation application. Now we get into the products. So the first thing you want to use is a concealer that you really like and something that you use over time and you notice, okay, this one performs pretty well with my skin. I really like the Tarte Ultra Creamy. This is in a lighter color. Now, back when I did the Under Eye Hollows videos, I wasn't using any concealer. I was just going for a lighter color. I was even putting highlighter here, which some days I still do that, on the cheekbone below the hollow to draw another person's eye to look at the highlight and not the hollow. So I found a way though to use this that brightens the area without highlighting the hollows. So it has a doe foot, and again, I'm going to use a slightly damp Beauty Blender to blend it out. I'm just going to put a dot or a smear underneath the eye and a dot in the corner because I have darkness in there as well. Little dot. Oop, almost got in my eye. Oh, that's interesting. And a smear. And then I'm going to use the Beauty Blender to blend it out. Okay, so I get a nice smear. Now I'm going to let that sit and I'm going to put on two other products, a contour and a highlight. It gives this a little time to sit there. Now I'm back, and what I'm going to use next are a setting spray. Now I have the Urban Decay setting spray, which is a little pricey once in a while during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty in March, and in September you can find it on sale for half price. But you can also find inexpensive versions. I believe Dollar General in their Believe Beauty line, I believe they have a setting spray. So if I can find it, I will link it below in the description box. But you're not going to spray it directly on your face. You're going to spray it on your hand and put a little dab. Then after that, this is where I go in with some powder. Now I know a lot of mature skin ladies don't like using powder, but I use such a small amount, and I use this e.l.f. brush. For some reason they call this a concealer brush, but Flawless Concealer Brush, but it's fluffy. You can even get a brush like this that you could use for your eyeshadow, like a blending brush. This is a great brush, so I'm going to use that. Then I'm going to use, I said a powder, I'm going to use a translucent powder. Now you can use a loose powder or pressed. I prefer pressed because I don't make as much of a mess. So I have 3 to choose from today. I have the drugstore brand. I have one from NYX, their HD finishing powder. It's translucent. Or a little more expensive is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores. This is really nice. I just opened this. I thought, wait a minute, it's brand new. Even has a plastic on it. So that one's an option. Or high end, I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Powder. And this one I've been using a lot. I've already hit pan. But for our tutorial today, I'm going to use the NYX. So starting with my spray, I'm going to spray a little bit on the back of my hand, just a little bit. I'm going to take my ring finger and I'm just going to tap it under my under eyes. And I don't know when I'm going to say this, but if I said it before, sorry. But last fall, I was with a friend at a conference, and on a Friday night at 7 o'clock, we were in the convention center and we were taking our seats, and she looked at me. She's 10 years younger than I am. She's early 50s. I'm 63. She looked at me and she said, "Did you touch up your makeup today?" And I said, "No." And she goes, "It looks fantastic because of this." All right, now it's just tacky to the touch. It's not wet anymore. It's not super dry. Now I'm just going to do a little bit of the powder, shake it off. And then I'm just going to dab it on this area. Take a little more. Oops, take a little more. And just tap it under this area. And that's it. That gives me a super nice, when I have a 52-year-old telling me, who at the time was 62 years old, that at 7 p.m. on a Friday night, where we've been going all day to this convention conference, looking at my makeup and saying, "Did you touch up your makeup today?" And I say no. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, it looks like you did because it looks fantastic." Then I know I'm onto something. So now I'm going to go put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. This is the finished look. So I'll pop a picture in here from later in the day, taken with my iPhone, which shows everything, in front of a window, so you can see how smooth that area looks with this method, which these products. And it just takes, 30 seconds or a minute to do this and add it as part of your makeup routine. And as I said before, everything is linked in the description box below. If you like this video, you might want to check out one of my others. I'll link to an end cards over on the right side of your screen, or in the description box below, or as a card in the upper right corner. And I'll see you in the next video.